Talk about a blue state exodus. Red states like Florida, Texas, and Arizona are all welcoming a surge in population over the last year, while residents in fled blue states like California, New York, and Illinois, including our next guest, who moved his entire business to Texas. Rex, founder and CEO of Peter Rex, is here to explain. Rex, thanks so much for joining me today. Why did you decide to move?
Well, Jay, great to be here, and I hope you had a Merry Christmas with you and with your family. I hope everyone else did as well. And we decided to move for a number of reasons. Faith, family, and freedom kind of is what we boil it down to. And when you look at what's going on here on a global stage, what we can see here is an indictment of New York and California and the way its government is dealing and the way the policies are going and the culture as well.
Yeah. I want you to look at some of these numbers here, the population change in 4 of the largest states. So you got California, a 0.7 drop. Then you got Texas, a 0.1 growth, Florida, a 1% growth, and then New York, a 1.6 drop. So does that surprise you, seeing the clear contrast? These red states, people are fleeing them, and I'm sorry, the blue states, people are fleeing them, and those red states, people are coming there in droves.
Yeah, LJ, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, and I'll give you a little story here about the culture and why that's actually influencing people as well to want to stay in places like Texas. And it's a thing I think people are not giving enough credit to as well. A lot of people focus on the tax and the policies and this and that. But, you know, last week I was at a Christmas party with the company, and a wife of one of our executives who had moved recently, left a big tech company to join our company at Rex from the West Coast and relocated their family. She told me that her child had received a Christmas card from another classmate at school that said Merry Christmas and underlined Christ and then wrote in, remember to keep Christ in Christmas. And the wife was just overjoyed, telling me about how happy that made her feel to now be in an environment where the culture is on her side to help her to raise her child well.
You know, Rex, that's such an excellent point. I think so often people point to the better tax and business environment in these red states, but it's really the culture, the low crime, the God-like environment. Christianity is welcome there. Why do you think so many people miss that?
You know, I think they look at a lot of people look at the money, they look at the tax stuff, because that's easy to see. It's easy to look at. But when you think about the things of the heart, they're sometimes harder to find. You've got to talk to people and be on the street to really understand that. And I think it's important that people realize this migration that we're seeing here, I would say we are halfway through. We're not at the end of that. I was talking to a CEO of a public company on the West Coast somewhat recently, and he was saying that we're at the end of this now. And I actually disagree with that. I reflected on his comments there, but we're in the midway of this migration, and people are going to continue to move here. I made the move about 1.5 years ago with my technology company and relocated here to Texas, and we're very happy, by the way. But there's other companies still coming. Elon Musk made the same exact move in a few months, just in the recent months, actually, and he's an American hero, and he's moved his companies over here to Austin, Texas as well.
Peter Rex, welcome to the free state of Texas. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, LJ. I appreciate it.